Hey everyone, and welcome to the finale of Expedition Online Vesuvius. My name is Jessica Martin, and I am here with Shane Byrne tonight, and we are super excited to see how all of this goes down.
Yeah, we finally made it. We have our final two, lots of twists and turns. It's going to be exciting to see who pulls this one out.
And now we're one step closer to the final ascent. We've got Kayla and we've got Matthew, both members of Team Adam. Shane, what do you think about Matthew's chances tonight?
So I think Matthew has played a good game. I just don't know if the jury fully sees it. So he definitely has an uphill battle because I think both him and Kayla have played quieter games. But the one difference is Kayla has the 4 exemption wins. And she has a couple moves under her belt, like the Hager move she can take credit for, so it's going to be tough, but I don't think it's impossible if he really comes out swinging at Final Ascent.
Yeah, definitely. I think it seems like Kayla's the front runner right now. She seems like she's been in control from behind the scenes for a lot of the moves. And she also was one of the only members of Team Adam that actually reached across to the Team Wendell members to work with them. So I would be shocked if she did not get all 3 of their votes. It'll definitely be fun to see how it goes down. I'm sure there'll be some good jury questions. There'll probably be some bitter jury questions too. Keep things spicy. But before we go over to the jury, we've got a special guest that stopped by, our wonderful team captain, Adam. We're going to send it over to Adam and the finalists, and then we're going to start the final ascent.
I did it. I made it to final 2. You know, going into this game, I wanted to be like as upfront and honest as I could be, and still make it to the end. And games like this, it's hard to do that. Like when you tell people to their face, like, I'm voting you out. Generally that doesn't go well, but I did that a numerous amount of times this game, and I'm proud of that. I don't know how great my odds are against Kayla, but you know, I'll try my best. I played an honest game. I know who I am. I can take any criticism. I can defend myself. I can talk about the moves I made throughout the game. I don't think I burned a lot of bridges. So I think I stand a chance. I think there's a good chance, but pretty stoked to be in the final 2.
I am so excited. I made it to final 2. I never expected this to happen. I am just so elated. I've never done anything like this before. So to make it to the final 2, it feels amazing. I'm really proud of myself. You know, I'm a little bit nervous going into the final ascent. Matthew has been relatively inoffensive and hasn't really burned anyone. And I've burned people pretty badly. I've lied to their face. I've been extremely deceptive. A lot of lies, a lot of deception, a lot of betrayal. I'm worried I'm going to get a lot of heat. I am not used to having to talk in front of people, having to defend myself like this. I don't do this on a regular basis, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to stand up for myself when I need to. I'm going to take accountability when I need to. I'm going to remind all my people that I made close bonds with that those were genuine, and this is why and how I had to play the game to get to the end, and I hope people can see that and respect that. So we'll see how it goes.
One of the things that I will say is, like, own it, right? If you betrayed somebody, like, say, yes, I absolutely did that, and here's why. Here's why it made the most sense for my game. People are more likely to be able to get over betrayals if they can understand that it was the right move for you. If they think that you made a stupid move and betrayed them, they won't get over it. You know what I mean? And then they'll probably vote against you. But if you can, like, they might not know all of your reasonings, and so you have to be the one to articulate it. That challenge is sort of on you. So especially if you've, like, done a lot of betrayals and that sort of thing, like, my advice would be own the moves that you made, and you don't have to, like, say, yeah, like, it was awesome to, like, screw you over. You don't have to, like, take a ton of joy in it, but you can say, always it was, to get to where I am now, right? And that's kind of it. You want to try to think about, from their perspective, do they think it was a good move or not? And if you think they think it's not, then it's on you to change that.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions? Or, I mean, not that I am a super duper expert on live online reality game Final 2 tribal councils, but I have been in one back in 2005.
Oh wow!
And I was like 13 years old, so, and I won. So, and actually, the guy that I beat in the Final 2 ended up working for casting for Survivor, and he was the casting editor when I went through casting, and so he was in every room when I did my interviews.
That's crazy.
And I called him out to all of his bosses, to CBS executives, to the president of entertainment for CBS, to Jeff Probst. I said, did you know that guy in the corner over there, I kicked his ass when I was 12 years old. Well done. Congratulations. All right. Good luck, guys. Email me afterwards if you want to let me know what happened. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, Adam.
Right now, it's very clear to me who is the winner of this game. I don't have much to think about. I am going to go into Final Ascent with an open mind, because I don't believe that it should be something where I don't even hear both of them out.
Like, in all honesty, like, between the final two, none of them have really made any big moves. I mean, and that's something as a jury member I look at, is big moves that change the game outlook for you and put you in a better spot. Well, both of them have been in basically the same spot, a great spot since Rendezvous.
We've all been owned by Matthew and Kayla. So how do we decide, like, I respect the way you owned me, I do not respect the way you owned me?
I think they might be getting some sassy questions from some of my fellow jury members. Some people are a little bit bitter about things that happened in the game, but I mean, just want everyone to remember, this is a game. We're doing this for fun and for charity, and you're meant to deceive and to lie to people when necessary, and I hope everybody just remembers that, and we get who I feel is the correct winner out of this, and that's Kayla. And I honestly think Matthew would probably agree with me that she would be a great winner.
Kayla was the one driving the car, and Matthew was somebody sitting in the back seat. He didn't want to get blood on his hands so much that I think even if he was directing some of these votes, it really didn't come across that way, and I'm convinced that he was not the mastermind behind these decisions, and it was much more heavy lifting from Kayla's part, which makes me want to vote for her more to win, because I think she invested more in the game.
It's really hard for me to highlight, like I said, the things Kayla has done, because she's basically just played a social game and won challenges, which is great. That's nice to do too. But as a jury member, I love the outwit portion of it, the strategic portion, the big move portion. But unfortunately, I guess that hasn't really been a thing with either one, unless if I don't know about something.
Kayla, she played a really good game. I think that she kept it timid, and kept it going along with the flow of things as far as she could. I still don't think that she made any monumental moves. I think that the major reason why she's in the Final Ascent is because she won a bunch of challenges, which is literally what I said. I said the night that I got voted out that these people were going to have a resume of I won challenges. And it's going to make it really hard for you to just be a clear-cut winner.
I know that Kayla has had wheels spinning the whole time, and we haven't really gotten to see a lot of her thought process, so it'll be interesting to see that. Matthew, he hasn't really played much of a strategic game, at least as far as I could tell, so I'm looking forward to seeing if maybe he's made some moves I'm just not aware of.
I guess I'll start with Matthew and just highlight some of the things I think he has done well, which is... That's it. I'm not trying to be mean, but he's done nothing in this game, and I don't even hear the jury talking about him doing anything in the game either. I guess he was upfront with people, which I guess some people are going to take that into accountability. But in my opinion, he hasn't done anything in this game. He's always been in a safe spot. And to be honest with you, I kind of theorized he was in a big alliance in Team Adam, and he was the yes man in my opinion.
Matthew, I think his number one skill was keeping himself at the center of power. Nothing happened without him. He was always informed. He always had his arms around what was going on in the game. He was really good at presenting himself to his teammates as non-threatening. The problem there is he never subsequently made himself a threat. And what I mean by that is he was in the center of power, but was not the one driving the decisions. At least it never seemed like it.
Matthew kind of stayed true to his alliance, which is what got him to the end. I think Kayla probably made a mistake in choosing him over Meredith to take with her, because I think Matthew is probably a little bit more liked. I think he's played such a straight up game without really having to deceive anyone that people are gonna like him more than if Kayla had someone else sitting next to her.
I'm worried that my fellow jury members might not all be as forgiving as I am. I think we are perhaps coming into final Ascent with at least some bitter jury members. I know that will make for a dramatic conversation and perhaps, interesting insight into why Kayla and Matthew made the decisions that they made.
All right, welcome everyone to the final Ascent for Expedition Online Vesuvius. We have our final two. Kayla and Matthew have managed to navigate their way through the expedition, getting their way all the way through all the crossroads without being deserted by their fellow explorers. So we have brought back 8 of those deserted explorers to be part of our jury, who will vote on a winner tonight. Before we get to that vote, we are going to have a bit of a crossroads run here by the players themselves. So the format that we're going to go with is each player is going to get both 5 minutes at the beginning and 5 minutes at the end. Just to give a little bit of a speech of why they believe they should be named the Ultimate Explorer. In the middle of that, each jury member will have an opportunity to ask questions. They can direct their questions at either one of you for as much of their portion of time as they would like. So there's no have to ask one player one thing, have to ask the other player. Nope, they get to ask whatever they want to whoever they want. They don't even have to ask you a question if they don't want. They can just make a statement. It's completely up to them. Then we will go to a vote, and we will see who the Ultimate Explorer is. Now, both of you are representing Team Adam, so Team Adam already does have the win locked up. So, sorry to Team Wendell, better luck next time. So now we're just seeing which charity will receive the other portion of our prize pool. So before we get started, let's just get it out of the way. I just want to talk a little bit about your guys' charities. Matthew, do you want to go first?
So I'm playing for UNICEF USA. They provide humanitarian relief to children and kids in crises across the globe. So currently right now they're helping the kids in Ukraine. They don't have a place to live or anywhere to go. So.
Awesome. Sounds like a great charity organization there. Kayla, who are you representing tonight?
I'm representing the Four North Project. It is a nonprofit that helps communities that are in need. Most specifically, they are helping a community in Dominican Republic right now. I went in 2021 to help the medical side of that started. They focus a lot on sustainability so that these communities can learn to thrive after we're gone, so that we're not just going in there and, putting a Band-Aid on it, but creating long-term solutions.
Awesome. So 2 great charities there battling it out this evening. And both players are representing Team Adam's charity, which is Lung Strong. Team Wendell's charity was Hearts of Reality. So 3 great charities receiving money. We're just trying to figure out which that last one is going to be. So why don't we get started? To decide who will be going first, usually we go by who receives the most votes throughout the game. You both received 1 vote. So we went to our backup, which is whoever wins the final exemption challenge. So Kira, you have decision tonight. You can either go first at the beginning, or you can go first at the end.
First now.
First now? All right, Kayla, start us off.
Okay, so hey guys, I'm really excited to explain my game to you. I am really proud about this game that I played. I really want to show you my perspective, why I made the moves that I made, and why it led me to sit here today. Before I start that, I do want to address that I know that I've probably snaked some of you. I told a lot of lies. I betrayed some of you, and you might be mad at me a little bit, but I just wanted to let everyone know that I really do respect everyone. Nothing was personal. Everything was from a game stance. I really wanted to win. I'm really passionate about games like these, so everything was to advance me further in this game, and nothing was directed personally to you. And I look forward to answering any questions if anybody has any ill will or wants to hash anything out with me. I just want to cover the quick bullet points of my game, and then hopefully we can go into a little bit more detail. Before Rendezvous, I was on Team Adam. We didn't go to a lot of crossroads, so I was able to really build a lot of bonds with everyone. I wanted to make sure that I was friends with everyone. I didn't really care about the hierarchy. I just wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be the one whose name was thrown out there, and I wanted to make sure that any iteration of alliance that was mentioned, that I was in there somehow. And I think I did that. I think everyone who's on Team Adam here felt like I was a close number for them. I think I achieved my goal pre-rendezvous. Now, I'm going to skip ahead to the Sophia vote because that was the vote that drastically changed my game. So I know Meredith just got voted out recently, and you probably learned a lot of information about what happened then, but I was in on the vote to get Meredith out. It was Sophia and I that kind of orchestrated it. The reason I orchestrated it was because Meredith had the steal a vote, and if I was going to blindside that side, I wanted to take out the person who had the strongest advantage moving forward. We all had a plan. I think that from deductive reasoning, it was JJ that switched his vote to Sophia, causing a tie. And then on the revote, I felt like I would be left out in the cold if I kept Sophia. So I switched my vote to Meredith. I switched to keep Meredith. And then moving forward, I was able to kind of play the middle because I went to Hager right away, who was on the outs. And I kind of explained to him the whole situation, and we formed a good bond over that. And then Matthew, Meredith, and Holly never really found out that I was the one who was orchestrating that flip. So the next vote was the Holly vote, and even though that was unanimous, there was a lot that went into that. I think Hager played that really beautifully, and he knew that we were aligned very closely on that, so he didn't even really have to talk to me. He knew that I'd be supportive of that. And then Matthew and Meredith, I think, went along with it because they felt like they still had me. So even if they lost Holly, they still felt like that they were in a good position. We were able to go forward with the Holly plan, and I was able to kind of keep my secret. The next significant vote was the Hager vote. After he played that round so beautifully, including kind of bluffing Dixon into playing the
the compass. I realized he was the biggest threat, and Schneidman at that point had a compass, so we couldn't vote him. So I orchestrated the vote on Hager. We split the votes between Schneidman and Hager. And Matthew and Meredith actually wanted to put all the votes on Schneidman, but I had a pretty good relationship with Schneidman, and I knew that he most likely was telling the truth. So I wanted to split the votes. That had Hager going out. And then the final was exactly what I wanted. I wanted 3 people against a very, very strong threat so that there would be no threat of me getting voted out. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a twist because it was a final 2. So Schneidman put up a really, really good battle. But I think my relationships in the end kept me safe there. And then the final 3, I, of course, had to win the final exemption because I would have been voted out. So that's how I got here today. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy that I met all of you. I don't do these things. I didn't know that there was people who are this passionate about this kind of stuff. So I'm really happy that I met all of you. I'm used to being the biggest, nerdiest Survivor fan out there. So I'm really glad that I have a lot of people who are like-minded like me, and I was able to meet you all. So thank you very much. I look forward to your questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Kayla. Go ahead, Matthew.
Alrighty. What is going on, everyone? First off, I want to say this has been a super fun experience. I'm super happy I got to meet all of you guys. It's been really cool. Hager, I want to come get a haircut one day. My hair right now is way too long, and I've let it grow for way too long, so I'm going to come get that haircut. And Holly, all of your baked goods look super delicious, and I definitely want to try those one day. So yeah, super stoked I got to meet all you guys through this wacky experience of throwing peas and spaghetti and rigatoni and Play-Doh everywhere. So yeah, but let's get into my game. So going into this, I knew my own strengths and my weaknesses, and I know that I am not necessarily the most cutthroat individual, and I am not the most devious person, unlike Kayla, who is pretty cutthroat this game. I knew that I was a people person, and I'm good at making connections with people and becoming friends with people, so I was going to work to that strength. So when we were originally in Team Adam, my plan was to just sort of feel out everyone, get close to people, find a core alliance that I could work with within Team Adam, so in case we lost a challenge, I'd be on the right side of the vote within our team. And so I felt really comfortable with Kayla and Meredith and Holly, and we formed a Core 4 alliance. And this was sort of setting the foundation for my game because I figured, I'm not the most cutthroat. I need to have a solid foundation that I can work with throughout the entire game. And I needed to build on that. I needed to show my trust repeatedly so that they wouldn't turn on me. So at the beginning of the game, we started off slow by losing a few challenges, but then we ended up going on a winning streak and we ended up getting to the rendezvous with the majority. I think I performed pretty good in the original, the beginning challenges. Not so much in the individual. We don't have to talk about that. In the team challenges, I felt like I was a useful asset, and I was part of the reason why we made it to Rendezvous with majority for Team Adam. So at the Rendezvous, I wanted to stay strong with Kayla and Meredith and Holly, and I kind of wanted to use them as shields, and I didn't want to make myself too much of a threat and throw out names or anything. I kind of wanted to let them direct the flow so that the threat would sort of stay off me and I could sort of just coast with them and stay aligned with them. I didn't need to make it harder than it needed to be. There was many opportunities for me to jump, for me to switch, to quote unquote make a move. And I think that was a lot of the criticism that people were giving me. Is you're not making any moves. You're not playing the game. It's well, I'm in the final 2. I don't need to make it harder than it needs to be. I got there by staying strong to my alliance, by being loyal. And I think that is a commendable act to do. I'm really proud of the way I play the game. I'm not a great liar, and I knew that. So a lot of times, I'm sure you guys know, I would tell you straight to your face that I'm voting you out. And that probably shouldn't work. I don't know, but I was just honest. And I stayed true to myself. And so I'm kind of proud of that. And so let's get down to some of these crucial votes towards the end. Specifically, the Holly vote, I felt really bad about. That was probably the vote I was most paranoid and chaotic and didn't have strong footing on. But my name was being tossed around a little bit, and Holly, I heard your name, so I ended up going along with it. And so that is why we ended up taking you out, Holly. And you were a big threat, and it was probably about that time. And then when it got down to Final 4, when it was Schneidman, Kayla, Meredith, and I wanted to stay strong to Team Adam. This whole time, I know it's not a team game, and you guys have told me it's not a team game. I get it. But we are playing for charities, and we are a part of Team Adam, and I did want Team Adam's charity to win. So that was a big proponent. And there was another aspect to this. I felt like Kayla was more likely to bring me to the end than Schneidman. Schneidman's the only person who has put my name down in the entire game. And he has mentioned, even in the crossroads, wanting to get rid of me. So I felt like if Schneidman made it to the end, he would definitely win. And if it was a final 2 and he had to pick, he would definitely not choose me. He would have chose Meredith. So I felt like my best odds was to spin it to keep Kayla, convince Meredith to keep Kayla and keep our alliance strong, keep Team Adam strong, end up getting that win for Team Adam, and then bring it down to the final exemption challenge, which I didn't like. These games you can't just be naturally good at. Props to you, Kayla, because you were a boss in all of those challenges. But like they're so wacky. It's like you can't really be good at building a spaghetti tape wand and getting a rigatoni. So I was like, I like my odds. It's not like impossible for me to win a challenge. And it came down to the last second and I ended up losing. But I think either way, I would have made it to the end because I kept Kayla. So yeah, I'm really proud of the game that I played. I didn't make it harder than it needed to be. I really enjoyed meeting all you guys. It's been a blast. And yeah, I'm ready to answer any of your questions.
All right. Great job, both of you. Okay, so great first speeches, really opening things up there, letting us know how you guys orchestrated your plan and set out your strategy. So let's get to the fun part, as the jury is going to ask you questions one by one here. Let's start off with Holly. Thank you very much for joining us, Holly. We appreciate it very much. So you guys have been given your time frame. Go ahead and use it.
All right. Well, congratulations, both of you two. You've proven that you were better at stabbing people in the back and lying to their faces. So I'm probably the most bitter on the jury, just because, as you guys will see when all of the confessionals come out, as you both said, I was totally loyal to both of you and Meredith. And every single time I heard either of your names, you guys were the first people I told. You're right, your name did get thrown around, Matthew, but it wasn't to actually vote for you. It was to try to get the votes off of Meredith because you guys were the core 4 that I worked with since day one. So my vote out was really blindsiding and very hurtful and hard to accept, probably more than other people's. So my question is really twofold. And my vote is completely up for grabs, and 100% of my vote will go to the person who answers this question correctly. So the first part of my question really is, when it came down to voting for me, you had 2 choices that night. My friend, Mr. Sneaky Snake, and me, somebody who did not lie to you at all. And so I'd like to know why I ultimately was your vote.
Holly, this might sound like a backhanded compliment, but I was truly threatened by you by probably earlier than you realize. Every time we went to, we had a crossroads and the strategy session before that, you were a mover and shaker. You were talking to everyone. You just were really, really good at the game, I thought. So you single-handedly saved yourself at the Deshawn vote. You single-handedly, basically, I don't have all the information about the Sophia vote, but you got the vote on Sophia. You completely changed that vote. I felt like when we were in our strategy sessions leading up to Crossroads, I didn't get to talk to you as much as I would like, and that would happen frequently. And that made me a little bit paranoid that you had more going on than I realized. So I was honestly really threatened by you, and we just did the Fallen Comrades, and I literally said, Holly leaving was great for my game because I felt like it opened it up to everyone. I told Meredith was actually the first person who told me your name leading up to that, and I was shocked. And Meredith can verify this for me. I was like, I almost kind of had it in my head that Holly was winning this game. So it was huge for me that you got voted out, but that's because I respected your game and I thought you were a huge threat.
All right. And Holly, so like I said in my opening speech, this was the one vote where I did think I was possibly going home. And I was really paranoid. And maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was. And so when I heard my name getting tossed around, I heard through people that it was going to be you. And I went along with that because it wasn't me. And I know you're part of my alliance, but at that point I was desperate and I was just trying to save myself.
So the second part of my vote is I don't think either one of you deserve it because both of you guys lied straight to my face, stabbed me right in the back on the exact same night with the exact same knife. So I'm going to have to give it to one of you. So I'm gonna let this be what it is, and I'm gonna have you pick a number between 1 and 100.
86.
60.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
All right, one of my least favorite voting strategies. Let's get to our next juror. For this one, I have a video. Unfortunately, our juror Sophia was unable to make it this evening. She will be sent the crossroads and will put in her vote later this evening. But she has been nice enough to send us a question. After we read out her question, we're going to give you each 2 minutes to make a response.
Hello. Before I start my spiel tonight, I just want to congratulate both Kayla and Matthew. You two made it the farthest you can in this game without winning, before winning for one of you. And I just want to congratulate you both on doing that. That's a big accomplishment. That's something that many of us here tonight thought that we could do or should have done, or, you know, so many what ifs. But in the end, it is not what we did, and it is what you were able to accomplish. So I'm happy to see you both here. Going right into it, I think the jury's perceptions of both of your games is a similar perception, but I think our main takeaways are very drastically different from person to person. Kayla, I personally see you as somebody who had a very personal, intimate connection with almost everybody on the jury. At the same time, you obviously lied to many of us in order to have that very, very strong connection with each of us. At least that is what we perceive to be a strong connection. Matthew, I don't think the same can be said for you. I know you were always sweet and nice to everybody, but I'm not sure. I know that I personally did not feel as a strong connection to you as I did to Kayla in the game itself. Kayla, you were able to win several individual exemption challenges, securing your place in the game over and over again. I think that allowed you to make it to the end without getting any votes in your name, which is incredible. Matthew, on the other hand, you did not win any individual exemption challenges, which is something that, you know, when just evaluating that level of the game, it's obvious who won there. Kayla, if what I have heard from other jury members is to be believed, you are the reason that I was, you know, deserted at the crossroads. But that being said, I can look past that and see that the way you were playing this game was masterful. It was commanding. It was seeing situations as they are, putting yourself in a position where you were always perceived to be tight with other people, even when you weren't, and making decisions in the game, which I think is very important. Matthew, I think your voting history shows a very similar pattern to Kayla's. You often voted together. However, the way that I perceive your game is that you did not make the decisions. And although you perhaps were truthful to people in saying that you were going to vote for them or that you voted for them in the past, I think you were still able to keep the blood off of your hands in saying you were voting with the group, you were voting based on what Meredith or what Kayla told you to vote. And I don't really see that as being admirable or courageous in this game, unfortunately. I think you're a very kind, a very sweet person, but I don't think you are playing as good of a game as Kayla was playing. So I do want to give you both the opportunity to answer my question tonight. It's a little bit of a tricky one, but which of the jury members do you think will vote for you to win tonight, and why? I'll be curious to see how you both perceive yourselves in the game, and also that secondary layer of how we perceive you.
All right, so a very thoughtful question there from Sophia. Kayla, for this one, I'm going to go to you first, as she seemed to be pumping your tires a little bit.
Well, I'm glad that she said that about me because I was really close to her, and the only reason I became as devious and as backstabbing as I was because that a lot of people from Team Adam started to throw out her name. So I was the one person who was actually pretty true to her. I think that I have definitely Schneidman's vote. I mean, he told me in Final Four, so I'm hoping that, it wasn't just a show and that he was actually truthful. I think he did kind of peg my game pretty well. I think I also have a slight edge on all the Team Wendell members. They're a little bit more removed on the politics that were on Team Adam. So, obviously, it's been stated I betrayed, I lied a lot. I think that they're farther removed from that. I think that they might be able to see my game a little bit more objectively and not take as much emotions into it. I understand, again, that we're all humans. We all have emotions. So I get that my team is a little bit mad at me, but that's why I think that I might have the edge on some of those people.
Matthew?
Alrighty. So Sophia, I'm sorry we didn't really get to connect that much. It was always hard to get. I always try to get in a room with Sophia, and I really never could. So I didn't talk actually that much to Sophia. So I can see why she said we didn't have much of a connection. But I think the person most likely to vote for me would be Meredith. Meredith and I were close throughout the whole game, and Kayla did turn on Meredith with Sophia in the middle there. So if I was to answer that question, I would say Meredith.
All right. Well, we want to thank Sophia for sending in her question there. Let's get to our next juror, who is Hager. Hager, if you want to jump on.
What's up? I am still pretty salty, and I wanted to jump on here and be petty as can be. But to be honest with you, I had one of your names wrote down already to vote for, and I've already erased it. The power of your words tonight are holding weight. You can ask the rest of the jury. I had my mind made up. But both of you, I love and respect for different reasons. I feel most betrayed, obviously, by Kayla. I think her and myself could have legit ran the damn table on this thing and went to the end, so I'm kind of salty I wasn't allowed to join her. And Matthew, absolutely no words of negativity for you, dude. Like a super positive guy. You have gave me no reason not to write your name down. And, I do believe that you both were great players. Both of you are great people, but my question here is a little bit different. My favorite players in Survivor are those who show their teeth and are a little bit more vicious. That's my biggest regret in this whole thing, is to not have been more of an asshole. I felt like I had to be a fake person a little bit, like I'm not as nice as I was. And it was weird to try to be, a good guy instead of the Joker, because that's the people I love in Survivor. So my question is, be a little bit of the Joker, be a little bit of the bad guy, and I want each of you to tell me not why you deserve to win, but why the other person don't deserve to win. And with each of your answers, please, we're all friends here, but don't be politically correct. Don't give no candy ass answers. This is your time to show your viciousness. I know you both have mutual respect for each other, but take your time and telling me why my vote does not deserve to go to the other member.
I can go first.
Okay.
All right, Kayla, get ready. Throughout this whole game, I was glad that Kayla was willing to get all the blood on her hands. I did not want to get the blood on my hands. And so someone else willing to do that for me while I just kind of coast and just sort of sit behind her as she takes out everyone. I thought that was a great move on my end. I stayed loyal the whole time to her while she did all of my dirty deeds. And I didn't get much blood on my hands. So I think that's the main argument there.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's the same argument for me. Matthew literally, like he just said, coasted and stuck behind me the whole game. Yeah, I would love to sit back and just have, somebody else do it for me, but that's not the type of person I am. I make moves in this game. I'm aggressive. If I'm ever forced with doing a passive move or really going for it, I'm going to go for it. That's why you and I worked so well together during that Holly Dixon vote. I'm sorry I had to betray you. I said in my speech the reason I betrayed you was because you were the threat to win at that point because you played that so beautifully. And I think that a lot of the reasons you played that so beautifully was because of the talk we had the other night. You and I got on the exact same page, and we devised this plan. I think that, again, Holly was the biggest threat at the time. So the fact that we were able to get her out without really anybody getting mad at us, we were in a great spot. And I do wish I could have taken you further. And if you heard during my final speech, I did regret taking you out at 5, knowing that it was a final 2, because I needed a shield in front of me longer if it was a final 2, because, Meredith and Matthew were able to pair up like that. So yeah, I wish I could have just sat back and coasted and not made moves, but I couldn't, and I didn't, and I played a way more aggressive game. A lot of people are a lot more mad at me, and I understand that. But that was my choice, and that was my decision, and I wanted to play with agency, and I wanted to play with control.
Yeah, I like what both of you said, and Kayla, I picked up when you guys were at the Final Four. You said that you would have played the Final 5 differently, and I took that as a glimmer of hope that maybe I could have been there. I think when I knew my back was against the wall, every night that I would come home to this thing, I would tell my wife, I'm going home tonight. So it was just kind of absurd that it actually happened. That's why I didn't have nothing to say, because I was extremely mad when I got sent home. Rightfully so, we all will be. But kudos to both of you guys.
Thank you.
The reason, I guess the gods of Survivor didn't want me to win this because they wanted me to get my first win in the big leagues on Survivor. So I'd rather get my win there than here. No offense, but congrats to both you guys. Nothing but respect, and my vote is ever changing. So good job, guys.
Thanks, Hager.
All right, thank you very much for that, Hager. Let's move on to our next jury member, and that will be JJ. All right, take it away, JJ.
Hello. First of all, congratulations to the both of you. You both did what we couldn't do, so kudos to you guys on that. So please tell me why the other person should win the game.
So I think it's pretty clear that both of us played pretty different games. So I think it comes down to what you want in a winner. If you want somebody who is super nice, just a really great person to be around, in his own words, he never really backstabbed or betrayed. He was a super loyal guy. Then he's the one for you. I obviously didn't play like that. So that's why I think it just depends on what you want in a winner.
Yeah, I think Kayla and I played pretty opposite games. Kayla's way more cutthroat than me. She made a lot of great moves. She orchestrated a lot of the big moves in the game that really set the pace for the game.
Okay, I don't think that you guys really answered my question, so I'm just gonna say my statement. I came into this with an open mind, as I do with every final that I'm ever a jury member for. I don't play bitter, so that's not my style, so don't think that I'm coming into this with any bitterness. Kayla, I think that your opening speech made my decision pretty clear. You were the first person that I talked to in this game, and I felt a pretty good bond with you. We promised never to lie to each other, and I don't think that you ever lied to me, so I definitely respect that. You played the game. You made moves. You thought ahead. You made alliances. You used information that you got to forward your game. You weren't afraid to put yourself out there. You won challenges when you needed to. And you played, while it might not have been the most flashy game, it was the closest, in my opinion, to a well-rounded game. Matthew, you didn't play the game. You were there for the ride. You got dragged to the end. Your opening speech kind of made it pretty clear that that was your gameplay. You were just making things up as moves and strategies because you knew that Kayla outplayed you by far. You didn't make efforts to talk to everybody, and I just don't think that you played a game deserving of a win. You had plenty of opportunities to up your game, even if it was with Adam people and not Wendell people, and I just don't think that you did that. If you get any votes tonight, I think that they're just going to be out of bitterness towards Kayla's dominating and commanding game, and not due to your own gameplay. Good luck to both of you, and I can't wait to see the end.
Thanks, JJ.
All right, thank you for that, JJ. Let's keep things rolling on here, and let's get on over to Dixon. Right,
hey, what's going on there, guys? Nice job taking it to final 2. Unfortunately, you guys took the knife that was in my hand that I had ready for your guys' back and put it in my own back. But definitely no bitterness because I was ready to stab both of you guys in the back the first chance I got, but unfortunately, I never got the opportunity to do it. But anyways, though, my question is, out of all the U.S. Survivor players, who did you guys each play most like?
Not the most popular winner in the world, but I would say Sarah Lucina. She was a really aggressive, female player who really took control of the game, wasn't afraid to be unlikable, wasn't afraid to betray people, but still formed, as Sophia said in her videos, really, really close bonds with people. So I would say that.
Okay. What about you, Matthew?
All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a huge Survivor fan growing up, and I have not been following Survivor for probably the past probably 12 years of my life. So I don't want to just make up a comparison, just throw that out. But I started watching Survivor 42 because of all of y'all, and it sort of rekindled that fire to watch Survivor. So I'm back on the train.
So can you answer, who do you think you most are similar to from 42? Can you answer that?
From 42. Maybe High. I feel like we're pretty early in the game, so a lot of the strategy hasn't played out yet, but I see a lot of similarities in High and myself.
Okay, fair enough. Nice job, guys. Best of luck to both of you.
Thanks, Dixon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Dixon. Moving onward, let's get to the first member of the jury, Rachel.
Hello. This is like the first time I've gotten to talk to either one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess I have a very different perspective than both of you and probably the rest of the jury. And that is because when we had our fake rendezvous and I talked to people, you both basically refused to talk to me. More so Kayla, where I sat in a room with you and you were silent and wouldn't even answer my questions. And I was like, well, that's kind of rude. You could at least make small talk. And then when we had the real rendezvous and you guys again refused to talk to me, and I was like, okay, so I basically figured out the game at that point, and I figured out that the two of you and Meredith had a very close alliance, and you also had alliances with Hager and Holly, but I figured that they both felt so comfortable that you guys were going to blindside them at some point. So I was fully expecting to see the two of you at the end, along with Meredith, or if it was a final two, I would have thought Meredith would have been here instead of one of you. And the game kind of went exactly how not only did I say it was going to go, but how I told every single one of your Team Adam team members that it was going to go. And I was like these two people, these really three, because I have to include Meredith in it. These three people are running the game. There's a hierarchy. Dixon's at the bottom. He's going to go whenever he doesn't have a compass. Sophia's after him. She's going to go right. It was just so obvious. And so I have to say, you guys played, honestly, both of you. I have a hard time differentiating the two of you because the way I watched it, it was so similar. And maybe it's because, a lot of the Team Wendell gameplay and the backstabbing happened before the rendezvous because we had to vote each other out so early. So I do have a very different perspective. And so in my thought process, I had to think of it, okay, they both played the obvious game. They both played the game that I was expecting to see, and that at the night of the rendezvous, I told all the Adam players they were going to play. So when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, who played it the best? And I have to say, Matthew, I think you actually did a great job because you basically were, of the two of you, the only one who I saw do any jury management. And I agree with you. If you were able to make it to the end with such clean hands and make it as easy as you did, I've never seen anybody be able to play Survivor like that. I'm actually kind of impressed. I know, and I'm saying this because I know everyone's been kind of saying oh, you did nothing, and I wish you would have done more. Honestly, I wish you, there had been more moves. I wish it had been more exciting to watch. If anybody else was here, I probably would have voted for anybody else over the two of you. So, props to both of you that you're here, you made it, and, you guys played a great game. I know who I'm voting for. I basically just said it because I've never seen anybody play like that, and I am very impressed that you were able to play such a clean game in a game that is all of backstabbing. But, I guess just to ask a question, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I already said it. I probably would have kept Hager at the final 5 to have more shields in the game for me so that when the final four came down to it, it wouldn't be Matthew and Meredith making the decision for me and Schneidman, had I known it was a final two.
Do you think you could have beat him in the final two?
Who?
Hager?
No, I wouldn't have brought him to the final two. I would have gone with most likely Meredith because they were targeting Matthew at the time, so Matthew would have gone home, and then I would have kept a pack with Meredith and Hager to get Schneidman out, and then hopefully either me or Meredith would have won the final.
And for me, I was thinking about keeping Schneidman instead of Kayla for that final three, because I think I have a better chance of beating Schneidman in that challenge, but I did think if he made it to the finals with me, that I had 0% chance, whereas if it's Kayla, I at least have a shot.
All right. Well, it was really nice to play with both of you. I wish you guys both luck. I honestly think you guys both played such a great game because you made it look easy. So great job.
Thanks, Rachel.
All right. Thank you for that, Rachel. Let's move on to Meredith.
Kayla, I had no idea you were trying to vote me out that early. Like, literally no idea. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. I knew that you had told about my steal a vote, and I still wanted to work with you. I thought I was working with the Kim Spradlin, but I did not know I was working with the Sarah Lucina. Props to you. You did a great job. I'm like so impressed with your game. Matthew, I'm glad that Rachel came in last and talked you up, because after JJ's thing, I was going to come in here and be like, to downplay the social aspect of the game is to downplay a major side of the game. And you did a great job maneuvering based on the alliances and the relationships you built. So
thank you.
I want you to be proud of your game as well. I had a couple of questions, but honestly, they were pretty much asked and answered throughout the course of it. But yeah, just congratulations to you both. Matthew, I do want to know, if it had been a final two, would you have made a loyal decision or a strategic decision? And who would you have taken if you had won the final exemption?
Oh, I would have taken you, Meredith. 100%.
Okay, good. That's
no
a strategic move. I was hoping you weren't going to say that you were going to make a loyal move and take Kayla, but that would have been the right decision. I think it would have been. It's a difficult decision right now between the two of you. You both played such great games, but yeah, I'm very impressed. And Kayla, again, I had no idea that you were trying to get me that early. I'm impressed.
Can I address that real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to get you that round, but the minute you said you were willing to get rid of Holly, I was back on Team Meredith 100%. Because I was
question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just threatened by the three of you. I thought that I was 4 in the alliance.
Got you. And I think it was kind of ever moving, like it was kind of just changing based on who we were all talking to. But that was another question. Whose idea was it to get out Holly? Was it Hager or was it yours?
It was Hager's.
Okay. I just wasn't sure myself, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember. So after the crazy vote where Sophia went home, you know how we all just immediately jumped into rooms? After that, that's when me and Hager really bonded. So he knew that I was on his side no matter what name he probably would have picked, but we never decided on a name. So it was Hager who came up with Holly.
Okay, that makes sense. Awesome. Again, I think you both played parallel but very different games. Caleb, so much more cutthroat than I had known about. I'm really excited to have learned all this new information. And Matthew, I think you did a great job of portraying your game in the way you did with the building of relationships and not getting your hands dirty. So great job to you both. It was so much fun playing with you.
Thanks Meredith.
Thanks.
Thank you, Meredith. And let's get to our final jury member, Schneidman.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you both. Don't worry, it's almost over. It's almost over. First off, congratulations to both of you on a game well played. I know everybody's saying it. I'm going to say it too. You got it done and should be very proud of yourselves. Awesome, awesome work. I'm going to start with Matthew. Matthew, you're a good guy. I like you a lot. I'd love to get to know you more outside of the game because I bet you got a hell of a story to tell. But as for tonight, and what I'm about to say, you were warned, my guy. You were warned. Kayla, as for you, at every turn, you played this game masterfully. At one point, you had every single person in the game on your side. You made yourself indispensable to the plans of all of your competitors. That allowed you to be the decision maker at every turn. None of us on the jury were voted out without your blessing. You are a strategic and manipulative force in a good way, On multiple occasions, getting people to do things that they totally should not be doing because it advanced your game. For me, personally, the amount of times you told me you were going to do something, didn't do it, then I kept trusting you anyway? What? How is that possible? How is that legal? It should be banned. But it's not. In fact, it's the most important tool in this game. And you were the only one who had it in their bag and used it successfully. Moreover, in this environment, I think it's easy to forget about the challenges because we don't get a spiffy necklace to show off when we won. But you were dominant. Dominant. And in the end, when you knew you had to win, you did. That's elite shit right there. Oh, and by the way, your answers tonight have been spectacular. In every facet of this game, every single one, you were the center of the universe. It was an ascendant performance you put in. And you pulled the wool over all of our eyes to keep us from realizing it until it was far too late for any of us to do anything about it. Unreal. To my friends on the jury, I know some of us are hurt. I know this sucks. Trust me, I know. None of us wanted to take this L. And we want nothing more than to take out our pain on the person who handed us said L. I feel that too. But there will always be time for that. We don't all have to be friends when this is over. But as I said during the game, this is not a team sport. And none of us were entitled to that win. Right now, right here, we have a duty to crown the person most deserving of being the winner. The choice is obvious. Anything else would be dishonoring the game we have all spent so much of our lives obsessing about over the past few weeks and the effort that so many people have put into it. Kayla, you are the absolute best. I don't know if the insecurity you projected during the game was real or an act. If it was an act, holy shit, you should get into acting. Well, hold on. If that's fantastic to hear. Because knowing that it was real, you are far more capable than you realize. In everything, in life. It will be my pleasure and my honor to write your name down tonight, and I hope when the time comes, we can celebrate your most glorious victory. Thank you.
Thanks, Schneidman.
All right, very well spoken as usual. Thanks for that, Schneidman. So, what we will do now is we will give our final two one last chance to try to sway this vote. You each will be given 5 minutes. It's a hard 5. I will warn you when there's 30 seconds left. All right, as per Kayla's wishes, Matthew, you will start.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for all your input, everyone. And I understand the harsh criticism. I can take it. I appreciate the kind words as well. It's been a blast playing with y'all. But just to reiterate, I came into this game and I knew my strengths and I knew my weaknesses. And I knew I wasn't going to be as cutthroat as Kayla. And so going into that, I set myself up for success from the very beginning with that foundation. And I followed through with that throughout the entire game. Yes, I didn't win many challenges. And yes, I definitely could have done better. I thought I would win some of the challenges, to be honest. And that final exemption challenge actually came down to like just a split second. It was real close. But I'm really proud of the way I played the game. And I stayed true to myself as a human being outside of this game. And I feel really good about that. And I feel really good about the connections I made with y'all. Win or lose, I want to be friends with all of y'all after this. This has been a super cool, unique experience that we all got to share. And I really appreciate it. So respect to you all either way.
All right. Thank you for that, Matthew. Let's turn things over to Kayla.
Okay, so I wish Schneidman could just give my final speech because that was epic. He really did encompass my game pretty well. I wanted to thank you guys for being so nice and respectful. I was pretty nervous because, again, I understand that I backstabbed, I lied, I was really, really harsh in this game, so I get it. Especially Meredith. and Hager, I know I burned you guys pretty bad. So to hear you guys talk so respectful to me and nice to me and really be open to hearing what I had to say really meant a lot to me. I really appreciate what Schneidman said at the end. He really summed up my game. After the Sophia vote, it was a final 7, and he summed it up that I was indispensable to everyone. Meredith, Holly, and Matthew thought that I was with them still. They never, ever got wind that I tried to flip that vote. Meredith just confirmed that now. Schneidman, Dixon, and Hager, they felt like they were on the outs, and I was the one willing to work with them. So I made, even though it's not sides, and that's a simplistic way to view this game, I made both sides feel like they needed me. So even though Schneidman, Dixon, and Hager knew where all the bodies were buried for me, they never spilled because they thought that they needed me. So I was able to play the middle from 7 all the way up, and I was really able to dictate those votes. So I just want to say again, thank you to everyone. It's been a pleasure meeting you, finding people who are like me and passionate about this game. Once again, I'm really passionate about my charity. I visited Dominican Republic twice last year, and I'm very close with the people who operate this program, so I am very passionate about that, and I am really looking forward to talking to everyone outside the game. I know that I've made friends for a really long time. I can't wait to talk Survivor with you guys and get into the fantasy leagues or whatever we were doing. So I'm really honored that I was able to meet you all and play this game with you all. You guys made it hard. You're really good players, and the utmost respect for all of you, and I really appreciate your thoughtful questions tonight. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much to our jurors and our final 2. This has been quite the final ascent. I'm eager to see how this is going to break down. So without much more ado, everyone should see the voting booth there. We're going to send the jurors one at a time in alphabetical order. So let's start off with Dixon. All right. All the votes are in. They have been counted. We are just going to send them on a trip around the world first, and then we'll have them. So we'll get back to you guys in a little bit and let you know the results.
1. Hello, everyone. We are live for the reading of the votes. With me, I have our final 2, Kayla and Matthew. How you guys feeling right now?
I'm excited.
Amped up?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the big moment. You guys have been waiting a while for this. Before we get to the reading of the votes, though, I want to bring in our winning captain for Season 4 of Expedition Online, Adam. Adam, you want to throw your video on for us? Oh. 1 second. Hey, Adam, you alright?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to put you back in the room, and I'm going to just pull up your video right away.
Pull up my video.
Adam, you there?
There we go.
All right, we've got Adam. Hey, how's it going, Adam?
What's up?
Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Got you here with the final 2, both part of your team, so you are the winning captain for Season 4 of Expedition Online.
Victory! Suck it, Wendell!
Congratulations. Now, Wendell will still be taking home part of the charity prize pool, but Adam's going to get the bigger share of that. Now, we've made these guys wait a long time. What do you think we get to the votes?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. So, our first vote, I'm going to read them one at a time. It's just more fun that way. Our first vote is for Kayla. Our second vote is for Kayla. Third vote is for Matthew. Our fourth vote is for Matthew. So right now we're sitting at 2 Kayla, 2 Matthew. Fifth vote is for Kayla. Our sixth vote is for Kayla. Our seventh vote and all the votes following that are for the winner of Season 4, Kayla. Congratulations, Kayla. You've won by a vote of 6-2. You also picked up the fan vote, so it was actually 7-2.
Yeah, shout out to my family.
Woo!
Congratulations!
Congratulations, Matthew. Hard-fought battle. I'm sure it was tough for the jury. If everyone wants to turn on their videos now. There we go. We have the cast of Season 4 Expedition Online. So, Kayla, looks like I've lost your video a little bit. Can you hear me? All right, we're going to go to Matthew first. Matthew, how are you feeling coming into this? Tight?
Yeah, I felt like Kayla was favored to win, so I didn't get my hopes up too high, but there was that little part of my brain that was like, there's a chance. So, holding on to hope, but very happy for Kayla as well.
Yeah, I do think if the game was solely based on likability, no disrespect to anyone else in the cast, I do think Matthew might have taken it. I think everyone wanted to be his best friend. I'm looking to be his friend at this point, just watching him. He seems like a really interesting guy, but it seemed like Kayla had a little bit more on the strategic side. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I would say that's fair, for sure.
Yeah? How about the rest of the cast? Who threw votes for Matthew at the end there? I want to talk to... All right, Holly, you want to let us know why you decided to vote for Matthew?
Oh, well, as some of you guys have seen or will see, I told him to pick a number because I was pissed off at both of them because they both and let me go before Mr. Sneaky Pants. So my number was 77. Matthew was closer. He was my vote.
So you just went solely based after 3 weeks of playing the game, you just went solely based on the number? There was nothing else behind it?
Well, I was going to vote for Matthew regardless, just because Kayla was actually my, Hager, me, and Kayla were like, I thought probably the closest early on. So of the 4 people, I was like, always, I mean, Matthew, I heard you say today, like, I was number 4 of your 4, and, you know, Meredith and Kayla were like gonna be the 2 that I stayed with the whole time. I loved Matthew, he was cool, but they would have been the 2 I would have stuck with. But my heart was broken that I got blindsided completely, and so I wasn't gonna vote for Kayla no matter what, despite the fact that everybody on the jury was like, you have to do the right thing, respect the game, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be one of those bitter people. So I was going for Matthew no matter what, but
Thank you.
he picked the right number. I was going to figure out how to make him pick the right number.
All right. Well, it's nice to be honest. Kayla, we've got you back now. We want to get your thoughts on winning the game. Did you expect this coming in, or?
Yeah, I thought I had a really good shot. I had really great relationships with everyone. Obviously, when I was talking to you at the end of the game with Matthew, I was pretty nervous about how bitter everyone would be. I was happy that most people were still willing to hear out my strategy. And besides Holly, it's okay. Everyone can vote the way they want. But I was happy that everyone was able to hear me out. A lot of my strategy was hidden to a lot of people, so I'm glad I could describe it to everyone, and I'm pleased with the results.
Awesome. Now we had a few people vote for Kayla. Does anyone want to step up and give us reasons why they decided to go with Kayla?
I think Holly wanted to say something to me.
I did, actually. I did
Okay.
want to say that if we had to re-vote today, Kayla would have gotten my vote, but it was after like the bitter, like I've watched it and I've had ice cream and I've heard Adam say don't be bitter and like got all that. So if I had to re-vote today, it would be Kayla.
So you've come around.
But I also knew she was gonna win because, well, the jury. That's all. I won't talk anymore.
No problem. Anyone else want to step up and talk a little bit about Kayla and why they decided to vote for her?
Yeah, I came into it like I told him. I said I already had somebody's name wrote down and I've already erased it. I already had Matthew's name wrote down. I was with Holly. I was 100% on my vendetta. I was ready to ride into the village, cut throats, and just ride off petty. But Kayla, even though she was the second partner I thought I had that let me down, no offense to anybody, that might have been number 1. No offense, I'm joking. But you know, she won me over. She deserved it. I mean, totally. I erased my name or Matthew's name and wrote hers, and as the night kept going and she kept, you know, giving more reasons why she should win. I mean, it was clear to me she deserved to win.
Can I respond to Hager?
Yes.
So I knew that you were a little bit bitter in the jury. A couple little birdies told me that. But, you know, I really appreciated how you heard me out. I could tell that you were during the final Ascent. We talked a little bit after the game. I hope you see, after watching this, I had the utmost respect for you. I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah, absolutely. I do, you know, and obviously, you know, when you rip the Band-Aid off, it's going to sting. But, you know, reflecting months removed, I have stepped back, like Holly said, and kind of seen things from a new light, and I don't blame anybody for anything they did.
Well, it's good to hear that. Oh. Go ahead.
I think everyone is entitled to their feelings, so I don't hold anything against you. Hager and I talked a lot after the season. I reached out to Adam. As everyone knows, there is a prize on the line for Team Adam. If we win, we get a free session with him. I wanted to gift that to Hager. He knows that. I wanted to make sure that he was gonna say yes live. I think that you're a great person. I think that you learned so much from this game. I think that you're teachable. And I just really am rooting for you. And I really think the world of you.
I appreciate that. You know, I kind of got chill bumps. You probably can't see, but that means so much to me. Like, I get that this is all for beautiful charities and for fun. But when Adam said that, like, my heart just started beating a little faster because it is something I want. I did this as a kind of a focusing point to kind of get in this realm and try to play the game. I've never even heard of these orgs before, and that's a new word to me. So to get in here and just try to throw myself to the wind, I think it helped, and I do appreciate that. That really means the world to me. And when Kayla told me that she was going to do that for me, I probably smiled for 20 minutes at work. So I do appreciate that. And Adam, I cannot wait to get your ass in gear and get working, and we're going to do it. We're going to get on there, and I'm going to do it for Team Adam.
That's awesome. I mean, I think we're all rooting for you.
It be if this ends up with you on Survivor. I feel like we got to help you make that happen. So let's get started right away.
Whatever it takes.
Hey, and if it does work, I want some credit on TV. Remember this, Hager.
I will wear a Kayla shirt.
Probably more than credit. Probably like a vacation, all-inclusive as well.
Yeah.
Something.
Proceeds from the win.
Yeah, you got to take care of it.
Let's get started. Let's get started right away and get you going, because casting's going to open up in August, and let's make sure you're one of the first people that they take.
And I'll tell you what, man, I have waited to this moment to even start. I was wanting to make my audition like 2 weeks ago, but I was like, no, you're going to wait. We're going to be patient with this, and we're going to get this shit done right this time. This will be, I think, my third or fourth, which is not a lot, really. But I feel it in my damn bones. You speak something to existence, it happens, and let's just all speak it together, and hopefully the universe nods.
Yeah, definitely hope that works out there for you, Hager. It's awesome that you're taking home that prize. Now, there was a bigger prize, I guess in some people's opinion, on the line there, the money for their charity. So let's talk a little bit about that. Kayla, as of this point, the charity pot was at an estimated $3,400. So of the three charities that will be getting money, everyone will be getting over $1,000. So big shout out to everyone who contributed to that. That is going to go a long way for these three charities. So we'll talk about the losing captain first, Team Wendell. He's donating his portion to Give Kids the World, a great charity that a lot of us are actually a part of, and we go to their retreat every year. So really excited for that. And then we have our winning captain, Adam, will be donating to Lungstrong. Adam, you want to talk a little bit about Lungstrong for us? And am I saying that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Lungstrong, actually, it's I believe today is the birthday of Diane Legg, who's the founder of Lungstrong. She is I don't even know, but in the teens of years as a survivor of lung cancer, and has been an incredible vocal voice in the lung cancer community, supporting other lung cancer patients and survivors. And the organization that she started, Lungstrong, donates all of the money that they raise directly to lung cancer research. And so hopefully we can help out some people like Diane and my mom and other people out there who are or will experience lung cancer. So thank you guys so much.
No, that's really
and Matthew for locking in the win.
Absolutely. We're really happy to help out. Happy it's going to such a great cause as well. And then we have our winner, Kayla, taking home a 35% of the prize pool as well. And that will be going to 4 North Project. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a group that I have been very heavily involved with. I actually reached out to the founder a couple days ago because I did kind of build the grassroots version of the medical side with other travel nurses. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, you might be getting some money. I have kind of a good shot to win. So he is aware. He's very excited. It's gonna really, really help them. It's gonna go a long way for them because he started it right at the beginning of the pandemic, which is a terrible time to start it. I work really closely with them, so I know that they have a great heart, and I'm very happy I got to be a part of working with them when I was in the Dominican Republic twice last year.
That's awesome. Very happy to participate in that as well. So we'll be donating 35% to Kayla, 35% to Adam, and 30% to Wendell. And a big thank you to Adam and Wendell for participating in this season. It was a delight having you guys be a part of this. I know everyone gets a real kick out of it. We're all huge Survivor fans and fans of you guys individually as well. So it was an absolute blessing having you guys participate for this season. So thank you.
And I know that I got involved in this in the beginning because I met some of you guys at Hearts of Reality. So I love that Hearts of Reality Give Kids the World is also getting a big chunk of change from this. And maybe some of you guys might want to come out, and I'll be there again in December. So it would be fun to meet some of you there, and we can have a good time and raise some more money.
Yeah, I believe that's definitely a plan for some of us already, so definitely excited for that. We do have a couple other notes. So we did have an audience fan vote. So we want to give... So the winner of our audience fan vote goes to Schneidman. Congratulations, Schneidman. We're going to send you some special Expedition Online merch. Congratulations, you were an absolute delight. Does that surprise you at all, Simon? How does it feel to be the audience vote?
It feels great. Thank you to everybody who voted. I had sort of talked myself out of getting the fan favorite votes. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. It feels great. I'm glad that you all were entertained by my song and dance number.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm certain it was that song and dance. We definitely had to make sure that got in the edit. And then we also want to throw out a big shout out and thank you to our highest fundraiser. That prize goes to Meredith. Thank you very much, Meredith, for your participation in the prize pool. We're going to send you out some special merch as well. And also such an entertaining player as well. Meredith, how'd you feel? What are your thoughts on playing the game? I want to hear from you.
I loved it. I'm still very disappointed I did not beat David Jackson. He will always have that claim over me, which the rest of my life is going to be something I have to deal with. But so it goes. But it was so much fun. Highly recommended to anybody who just like happens to watch this. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I thought that audience vote could have gone a few ways. Sorry, Em.
You gotta keep playing until you beat David Jackson.
I'm down with that. I will keep trying. I'm nothing if not persistent.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Or maybe play against him and vote him out. That'll do it.
I'm afraid our friendship might not survive that. We've been friends for like 15 years, but we're super competitive. So we would have to consider that and talk about it, but...
Awesome. Well, guys, it was an absolute blast of a season. Anyone have any last thoughts? Anything else they want to say before we let everyone go here? Adam, you got your finger up. Good.
A couple things. First of all, it's just been so much fun to be a part of this. Thank you for including me. I think you guys are all fantastic. I loved some of the updates that I got from some of you guys throughout, some of the emails about what was going on and getting to be in like the mix and feeling like I was involved in it. So I've really enjoyed that. And I really do hope to meet some of you guys in person at some point. I would really look forward to that. And if you guys, also, I'm currently at another, like, I guess I just do Survivor stuff all the time. I'm at another live reality game called the Survival Challenge, and my girlfriend's playing in it. So if you guys haven't gotten your fill of games, you guys should watch this weekend as she just avoided being the first one voted out. So now she's allowed to come home. So you guys should check that out too if you're got some time this weekend.
Nice.
Thank you again for having me. It's been such a pleasure. And congratulations, Kayla, and Matthew as well. You guys did amazing. Well done.
Thank you, Adam.
And Meredith for the fundraising, and Schneidman for the fan vote. Gotta mention that as well. Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much. All right, I'll mute myself now.
I just wanted to give a shout out to production, Jonathan, hosting, Shane, everybody behind the scenes. just setting up this whole thing while we were playing was a monumental task. Getting the episodes edited and up on time. Just thank you all so much for setting up this little sandbox for us all to have some fun in.
Very professional.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nyman. I mean, a big, huge shout out goes out to Shane and Jess for getting those episodes to you guys. Shane does a lot, if not all of the editing, and Jess does all the final touches. I mean, it wouldn't be the same experience without that aspect of it for, as a game player. So huge shout out goes to them. Sorry?
How do you get it out so quickly? How do you do that all so quickly? It's incredible.
I'd a lot of organization. I mean, Shane is probably the most organized person I've ever met. He has all the videos coming in a certain way, and he's able to put them together relatively quickly, and he loves it. I mean, it's a lot of fun watching the game. I'm sure you guys will experience that, as a few of you kind of shown interest in helping out in future games. And I suggested, even if it's just for one, the background of being kind of behind the scenes and seeing how things go. It's really interesting, and it's a real fun way to watch the game. It's a different aspect, seeing everything. I think we have fun doing it. So I don't know if it goes together quickly, but when you're having fun, time flies, right? So, but yeah, big shout out.
Sorry, it was Jess too. We can't forget Jess, challenge coordinator Jess.
Absolutely.
Yes. Challenge coordinator Jess and mod Jess. Thank you.
Her brain. I don't even know how that thing works like it does. She's fucking amazing. Amazing.
I appreciate you guys bringing that up. She actually sent a video for you guys. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to share it right now.
Don't make it another challenge. I can't do another fucking challenge.
We finally just ate our rigatoni the other day. I was like, I don't need these anymore.
I still have peas on my floor.
Give me a second. I will play Jess's video, because Jess is also a huge part. She puts together all of the competitions. She does all the videos herself. She tests them out on her kids too. So we also have to shout out Jess's kids. All of the competitions that you guys do, her kids have done them first. So imagine how they feel.
Aloha Explorers, sorry I can't be there.
Oh, I found the video. Now I just need to pull it up for you guys.
While we're doing that, also somebody we haven't talked to yet, but Simon, love you, love the video, the siren songs you sing and the dancing, loved watching it. I also loved watching Dixon and Dixon's confessionals. They were so much fun, and he had the little hunts for things, and he was always so energetic. So I gotta give props to Dixon for being so entertaining in his confessionals, even though I called him a sneaky snake like 100 times. So I apologize for that, but so entertaining. Loved it.
You and me both. Mr. Sneaky Snake is how he is going to forever be known in my entire life.
Thank you so much for the comment, Meredith. I appreciate it. You guys were all so fun to play with. I had so much fun. This is definitely the closest thing to real Survivor, and I love it. So, no other cast I would rather play this season with. So.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt, but I think I'm gonna have to head out. So, Kayla, congratulations. Jonathan, thank you for having me for the short period of time that you had me. And just thank you guys. You were awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nate.
thanks a lot, Nate. I
See you
mean,
later.
this was really such a great cast, and yeah, I mean, guys, feel free. We're gonna be done in a few seconds, anyways, but feel free to jump off if you want. But it really was such a great cast. I mean, that audience vote could have gone a number of different ways, and I mean, I could see most of you, if not all of the cast, being on Survivor, and it being an absolute show. So. Yeah, I mean, the game isn't the same without the cast, so yeah, big shout out to everyone. And let's hear from Jess. She has a message for you guys from vacation. Everyone can see that live?
Aloha Explorers, sorry I can't be there for finale night, but I'm just out here in Hawaii scouting out new locations for future expeditions and, coming up with some new challenge ideas. Congratulations to the winner, and I'll see you all soon.
There you go. So big congratulations from Jess. Even though she can't be here, she still sends in a video because she's just awesome like that. So I think we're going to wrap things up. Any last words from our winner?
I had a blast. I did not know things like this existed. I'm so glad to have met people just as crazy as me who are very passionate about things like these. I'm so glad that I've made so many friends with this. Again, thanks to everyone involved for putting this on. This is really impressive. I'm so glad that I applied for this on a whim. So thanks again to everyone in my cast. That's it. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being with us again tonight. I hope we see you guys all in the future. Future games pop up, returning players. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm going to say goodbye to the players. We do still have this raffle to deal with. So, Jess, let's pop in another room here and get to this raffle. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you guys in a bit.
See you guys.
Bye. We are still live. You're muted.
All right, let's get to this charity raffle.
Let's do it.
All right, so we picked ahead of time so we can keep this moving. So the first item is a piece of art by Eric from Survivor Micronesia, and that is going to Bill McGrath.
Hey!
Which is a shout out Bill McGrath. He is one of our mods, and he has donated quite a bit to us, so thank you, Bill. Next item is a vintage Survivor buff donated by the Vintage Survivor store. That is going to Jess Herbeck.
Yay!
We've got a Survivor voting pen and parchments from Outcast Originals. That is going to Melissa Miller. Got a Survivor Idol of Choice by Freak Like Me Etsy. That is going to Shay Sunday. Another donation from Freak Like Me is a Survivor Immunity Necklace of Choice, which is going to Sarah McKellar. We've got a puzzle from Outplay Puzzles going to Jennifer Bedard. A Survivor candle from Writer Designs on Etsy that is going to Shannon Osimo. A pair of Costa sunglasses going to Dixon Wong. EO merch is going to Sarah McKellar. And for the big two prizes, we've got a Zoom call with Wendell Holland that is going to Bill McGrath.
Ooh.
And our final prize is a Zoom call with Adam Klein that is going to Dixon Wong. So thank you to everybody who donated. This has been such a fun season to watch. I think our charity total is up to around $3,600 now. So we appreciate all the vendors that donated and everyone who donated their money as well. So thank you guys.
Yeah, very successful season. Always fun just to do the game itself, but to be able to donate money too, just to kind of adds that cherry on top. And a big thanks to you, Jess Martin, for putting a lot of that together and organizing it. I mean, obviously the game wouldn't survive without you. So yeah, those are our raffle winners. We've got our winner for the season, Team Adam, taking the win with Kayla getting the 7-2 vote over Matthew. Such a great season. I think we're ready to wrap it up. I'm looking at our sheet. I don't see anything else here.
Yeah, very well-deserved winner. Kayla, welcome to the Expedition Winner's Circle. We are happy to have you. And we will see you guys next season.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see what we got in store. That should be coming in a few months. So look out for us. Make sure everyone follows us on Instagram at Expedition Online. And check out our YouTube library. Tons of past videos. All kinds of stuff on there. And yeah, pop-up games maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.